Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another Respawnables video. This is part 8 of my all weapons in multiplayer series. In today's part, I'm going to start off playing with the Vet 3000 Atom. This is the 2017 Cyber Menace top event weapon. It is also an energy-based assault weapon, as you can see. And what's interesting about this gun is it's actually based off of a weapon in the game Afterpulse. And if you don't know what Afterpulse is, it's the other third-person shooter developed by Digital Legends. So the first one was Respawnables, released in December of 2012, and then they decided that they wanted to create a little bit more of a realistic third-person shooter because, you know, Respawnables is kind of a cartoony game. And then they created Afterpulse and released that in 2015, I believe. Now, I never got a chance to play Afterpulse. It was just never available in my country or for my device, so I can't really comment too much about that game. But I know that it's not as good as Respawnables. It's even more pay to win. You had to like level up your weapons in order to use them at a high level, and there were loot boxes, so none of that stuff was in Respawnables. Of course, you did have pay to win weapons and all that in Respawnables as well, but not nearly as bad as Afterpulse was. But I do wish that I had at least a chance to play that game at least once. But anyway. So I don't know how this gun compares to the version that's in Afterpulse, but this one, it's a pretty good weapon. I would say it's overpowered now. Unfortunately, the video footage does not do this weapon any justice because the enemies that I'm facing, you know, they're using overpowered armor, so it's going to take a while for me to kill them. As you can see, this guy's using a shield, so it takes the entire clip to basically kill that guy, which is not it's not a good representation of how good this weapon actually is. I would say compared to Chemrail and Plasma Machine Gun, which are weapons that, are kind of similar to this one as far as like the animation of the firing of the gun, this one is the best out of those three. And as you can see, people are also using ridiculously overpowered weapons like Battle Ram or Incursion Ram. So, this gun's not going to be quite as good as those guns. So yeah, now we swap to the bow. The third charged weapon that was ever released into the game after the Big Kaboom and the charged stun rifle, both of which we played with in the previous video. Now, the bow is an interesting gun. Well, not a gun, it's an interesting weapon because at release, during the 2017 archery tournament update, it was really not that great of a weapon. I would say it was balanced, maybe a little bit underpowered actually, but, they increased the basically the projectile speed or the velocity of the arrow in the 2018 archery tournament update. And after that point, all the bows became a lot more overpowered, basically. But yeah, at release, you had the energy bow, you had the regular bow, you had the booming bow, as well as the explosive crossbow, which that one is not a charged weapon. But the three other ones, as you can see, I'm playing with the energy bow right now. They were all not really that great at release, but then a year later, or just about a year later, in the next archery tournament update, they buffed the guns. Again, they're not guns, they're bows, but you know what I mean, right? They buffed them and they increased the projectile speed a lot. And they may have also increased the damage a bit as well as potentially the reload speed and movement speed, but I'm not sure about that in particular. So yeah, we're playing with the energy bow. We got a kill with it, and now we're moving on to the booming bow. Not a lot of time left on the clock, but I am going to get one more kill using this weapon as well. And I would say this one is my favorite out of these three charged bows that I've played with right now. But yeah, there's also a hacker in the game who was also in the previous video, and he's just one-shotting everybody using the rookie machine gun. So yeah, now we move on to the explosive crossbow. This one is not a charged weapon, but was also released in the 2017 archery tournament update. It was the top event weapon from that event. And this one, I like even more than the booming bow. It's just a lot more convenient that you don't have to charge up your shots in order to fire. Now this one at release was actually a little bit stronger. It had a faster fire rate as well as a faster reload speed. But they decided to nerf this gun because it was really, really overpowered. It's like a one-shot kill, multiple shots, really good range, really good velocity. So they decided to nerf that weapon in a later update alongside the Railgun, which we'll play with in this video as well, a little bit later on. So yeah, now we're using the ultimate punch. Now, as you can see, this guy's just hacking using blunderbuss. He can shoot through walls. Now, the ultimate punch is an interesting gun because I basically decided to put this one in as a substitute for the ultimate battle suit, which was released for the, I think, Ultimate Soldier update in 2017. And this one is basically just the same as the suit, but it's just the glove weapon itself. So I decided to put this right here alongside these other weapons chronologically. I think it makes the most amount of sense, even though this weapon, this actual weapon, came out I think during the second to last update, maybe even the last update. But yeah, we're playing with this gun. Really cool active skill as well. Kind of reminds me of Noisy Cricket. So we left a match with the hacker, and now we're in West Side District. Now there's a guy who wants to team with us, which is always a little bit uncomfortable when you're making a video, because, you know, I just want to show off the weapon, of course. You know, normally I would go ahead and party in a situation like this, but not right now. So I'm going to use my active skill one more time. I'm also going to kill a noob right here, but I'm going to end up leaving the match right now because, you know, there are no enemies for me to kill. And I don't want to piss off that one guy. He's just trying to have a good time as well. Unfortunately, that means that we're getting back into Frozen Bay, so I'm sorry for the lack of map variety in this video. But I think, you know, because the game was so unstable near the end of its lifetime, I think there was also a glitch where you would get the same map over and over, which I think explains why I keep getting into Frozen Bay. I think that also happens with some other videos that I recorded in this series. But as you can see, we also swapped to the portable heavy machine, the next weapon, also from the 2017 Ultimate Soldiers update. And we're still here with the ultimate punch. We're going to get one more kill on this guy right here. Now, he's using a lot of health. I think he's using 120% extra health. So normally this weapon would be a 2-shot kill, but as you can see, it took 3 shots to kill this guy. So yeah, now we move on to the portable heavy machine. I was already going to go to the next weapon, but I forgot that we hadn't played with this one yet. This is not an assault weapon. I would have thought that this wasn't like an assault weapon, but it's in the heavy machine weapon class. So yeah, once again, just like with the Vet 3000 Atom, this is not really the best representation of how good this weapon is because of, once again, these guys are using a lot of health. So, you know, it's going to kill slower than it usually does. We are going to get the kill right here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get a kill with the active skill. The active skill is very similar to the ballistic knife gadget, but it has a really long cooldown, as you can see. I'm trying to get the kill right here, but this teammate is going to end up shooting him with the poison bullets from that gun, so I had to finish him off myself without being able to kill him using the active skill. But it's basically like the ballistic knife gadget. So we move on to the next match, once again, Frozen Bay. And now we're using the Railgun, the top event weapon from the 2017 Ultimate Soldier event. And this one is a sniper type weapon, or a rifle type weapon as the game calls them. And at release, this one was so overpowered. This thing was a one-shot kill, it still is, but it had a much stronger auto-aim with better accuracy. At release, you could basically just stand still, line up the shot without even having to scope in, and you would always get a one-shot kill. It was super overpowered. But yeah, we move on to the next weapon right here, the W.P.D Officer Pistol. And this weapon, I would say, is actually pretty balanced. I would say this one is a balanced weapon. It's got a lot of ammo, though, so, you know, maybe not as balanced as Revolver. Maybe it's slightly better than Revolver. It takes 4 shots to kill, whereas Revolver takes 3 shots. This one does have a little bit of a faster fire rate and, once again, more ammo. But it also has an active skill, which basically just fires the gun 3 times. It's like a burst. It's like a burst mode type of active skill. It's not very useful. It has a very long cooldown, as you can see as well. But yeah, this gun is actually pretty balanced. This one was released during the 2017 Summer Camp update. And yeah, I don't really like that update. Maybe I'll talk about that update at some point in another video, why I don't like that one as much as the other Summer Camp updates. But yeah, we're playing with the weapon right now. We're going to get a few kills. This guy is actually using not that much health, so we can actually get a good representation of how the weapon functions. And the guy who I teamed with in the previous match is still here, and we're kind of just not trying to kill each other, but sometimes he accidentally hits me, which is fine. So yeah, as you can see, he hit me right there and kills me accidentally, which is, not a big deal. It means that we get to move on to the next weapon, which is the Paralizer KHR3. Not sure what the KHR3 stands for. I usually just call this thing the Paralizer. This thing also has an active skill, as you can see. Now, I kind of noob it up right there. I think I hit the wall or like one of the pipes at that hill right there, so I didn't actually get to shoot the enemy at the submarine. Then we get shot in the back right there, so let's see if we can do this another time. This is an assault weapon. It also has a scope. I don't think I show off the scope, but it's pretty similar to the sniper rifle scope, so it's not like the scoped assault rifle scope. But yeah, this one I would say is kind of strong. It's a little overpowered. It doesn't have the most amount of ammo, and it has a fairly slow fire rate. As you can see right there, the active skill does some damage, and it also slows the enemy down. As far as looks, this weapon kind of reminds me a little bit of DMR 003, just because of the color scheme and also the red scope. But as far as animations, it's more comparable to something like Winter Ghost Rifle or the automatic grenade launcher. Here you can see that our friend killed us accidentally again, but not a big deal. So now we swap over to the weapon he's actually using, the assault rifle DU Mark II. That's how I pronounce it. I don't know if you say DU or DU. And by the way, I also actually don't know what DU stands for in this case. And this is also the Mark II. I don't know where the Mark I version is, but that's just Respawnables and its weird weapon names. I hate that. And I also don't like this weapon at all. It's super overpowered. But yeah, now we move on to the dual Flintlock pistols. This is the top event weapon from the 2017 Summer Camp event, Summer Camp 4. And as you can see, we're kind of having a little glitch at the moment, an out-of-the-map glitch. A lot of these happened near the end of the game's lifetime, where you would just glitch outside of the map. Or, I think another reason that this happens is if you're starting a match, but you're in one map and then the rest of the players actually have a different map loaded up. So I think that's one of the reasons that this happens, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, we're outside of the map. Kind of cool to see Frozen Bay like this, but a lot of people have seen this already, I'm sure. But yeah, so we leave that match. Unfortunately, nobody joins this one, so we're going to have to leave this one as well. And that means that we're going to go back to West Side District, I believe. Yes. So we're getting a little bit more map variety near the end of this video. So we're back in West Side District. The dual Flintlock pistols, 2 rounds. It's a one-shot kill weapon. A lot of one-shot kill weapons were added in 2017. And a lot of them were obtainable in events as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this one pretty suitable for close range encounters. Now, that's weird right there, right? You saw that I auto-killed myself. That's basically a glitch because an enemy was using the Fury pets, which is one of the pets you can use. And for some reason, whenever you get killed by that pet, it makes it look like you got an auto-kill. So I don't know why that is, but you'll see that later on in the video as well. It can even kill your own teammates, which is just ridiculous. And that pet is also really overpowered. It works like Death from Below, but it has a bigger blast radius, more damage. It explodes faster, and it also has a massive poison effect. So even if it somehow doesn't kill you in one shot, the poison is almost certainly going to finish you off. So yeah, very overpowered pet. As you can see, we're now playing with the mine launcher, one of the absolute worst weapons in the entire game. This weapon absolutely sucks. But it looks like we're actually doing fairly well with it, which is really surprising to me. I didn't expect to get many kills with this weapon at all, but we definitely got a few there, so, I'd actually say that that was a good performance right there. So as you can see, we now swap to the next weapon, which is also going to be the final weapon in today's part, the Heavy-Medyk Mark I, released during the 2017 AtomCon update, also alongside the mine launcher. And this weapon is the first weapon that allows you to heal your teammates, which is pretty cool. Now, unlike other healing weapons in the game that were released after this one, This one you have to use your active skill. As you can see, this weapon has an active skill. And basically this weapon's active skill, there are 2 firing modes. And if you use your active skill, you can swap between them. So I'm showing off your regular, heavy machine gun firing mode right now that you can use to kill enemies. And I'll show off the healing mode separately. But yeah, this weapon is pretty interesting, pretty cool. It's a pretty good weapon, definitely overpowered, but not, not the most overpowered heavy machine gun out there, I would say. But yeah, good kill rate, as you can see there. A little bit of a slower fire rate, but good damage, so yeah. Now, as you can see, my teammate got killed there, and his pet killed me, which, that shouldn't be able to happen at all, but, that's the glitch with that pet. Very, very weird. So yeah, I'm going to try and show off the healing mode right now. It's a little difficult to tell, but it does, in fact, restore his health. His pet is going to kill me again in just a second. But yeah, this is the final weapon for today's part. In the next video, we're going to start off playing with the Assault CCP-6. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.